Hi, I'm Jacob, just doing a quick review of my Ninja French door air fryer. I just got done cooking some French fries. You can see them in there, and wanted to go over some of the features and what I like about it and don't like. And spoiler alert, I like just about everything. It seems really good. To start off, this is a fairly new one from Ninja, but I think it's maybe the best French door stainless steel air fryer on the market right now. It looks amazing to start off with, and then it just cooks food really, really well. Let me show you some of the features. I'll zoom in on it. Okay, start off with, it is all stainless steel, basically. Single hand opening French doors, really nice and smooth there. And did I mention it looks really good? So to go over, it has a few settings, not as many as some, which I like. I end up mostly just using the air fryer setting on air fryers and then setting it to whatever I want. But this does have some different things. So if you press mode, you're going to be able to switch through. So we start with whole roast, then there's air roast. So whole roast is if you're going to roast a whole chicken or something like that. It'll do a gentle amount of air. Air roast does it a little bit more air. So if you want something crispier and you're doing something smaller, let's say small piece of meat or asparagus, then air fryer is, it's air and heat. The traditional thing puts the most air out. Bake is if you don't want much air. Dehydrate will let you dehydrate foods. Broil, give you a lot of heat directly. Toast for toasting bread. Bagel for toasting bagels. Pizza for making pizza, and reheat will give you some gentle heat for reheating some of your food. Like I said, I mostly use air fryer, and then you have your temp button, so you can change your temperature, your time, so that you can change the amount of time. Then you can turn on a light. If we go to another mode that I do use, so I use an air fryer instead of a toaster, and it does a good job toasting. I'll show you that, but this toast setting has the amount of slices that you put in. So you can change your slices from 1 to 6. And then you can change, instead of the temperature, you change what shades you want from 1 to 7. So if you want it, but you put it at 7, medium would be like 3 or something like that. So here is, see, I'm not sure if you can see that, but here is the basket. They advertise it as the largest basket of any air fryer on the market of this style, and it is pretty deep. You could fit a lot of stuff in there. I usually, I just cooked a few potatoes here, and so not so deep of layers, but you could cook something deep. And then you have your pan here that protects, the bottom. I'll usually use that. And it does have a broiler insert, so you can put that there. If you're putting, let's say, a chicken or piece of meat, then you can have that up off so it lets some air circulation. And then it also has this rack, so you can do your normal stuff. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this one, as much as, well, I have the other big French door air fryer that's stainless steel, the big competitor to it. And I like this one better in a lot of ways, but this one, the only thing that fits in the, so that it rests on these little side slides here, is this piece. So everything else you put on top of this. You can't just put in, for example, this basket, because it doesn't slide in. You just put it on top of this. And that's fine most of the time, but it does make it so that you can't do two things at once. And for an air fryer, you don't really want to do two things at once, but if you, and I seldom do, but if I'm reheating food, sometimes I'd want to. So I wish you could, slide everything in individually, like that this pan would slide in, and not that you have to put it on the rack. Not a big deal, but that is something to be aware of if you're doing it. So going back to some other things that I like about it, it doesn't get hot on top, which is cool. My other one had vents that, would get super hot on top, and it's pretty well insulated, so it doesn't really get super hot anywhere. It does get a little hotter in the back. It has back vents and then has 2 side vents is where it does it. And it does let a little bit of steam out in the crack in the French doors, but it's not too much, less than my other model of French door air fryer. And so the big plus on this one, I think it cooks the food better. It does a better job toasting bread, which I use it a lot for, and it crisps stuff up better. They say something like they use cyclonic air technology. I don't know exactly what it is, but Ninja does a really good job. I mean, that's their business, air fryers. They do a really good job of it. And I think this might be the nicest one on the market. And then if you take out this pan, you know, this is what you clean off. You should be cleaning it off every day or so, or well, at least every few days. But yeah, overall, this thing's really nice, I think. I'm going to show you cooking some food in it. But overall, I really love it. If you're looking for a French door air fryer, especially one in stainless steel. And that's for me, I don't want plastic air fryers. I want a stainless steel air fryer, and this one's stainless steel. So if you want one like that, I definitely recommend this one. About to air fry some tater tots and chicken nuggets. Show you how easy that is. So turn it on. Set it to air fry. I'm going to have it at 400. Both of the things say slightly different temperatures, but I think it's going to be fine. And then the time I am going to put to, I think 12 minutes should be good. That's, you know, going to depend on what you're cooking and all that. I'll turn it on. It says you can wait till it's preheated to put the stuff in, which should only take about 30 seconds. I'll come back in 30 seconds. So yeah, just preheated, took, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds. It's crazy how fast this thing goes. So normally how I'll do it, you can see, I've got the wire rack at the bottom, and then this stuff rests on top of it. I put the little pan underneath just to catch it for fatty foods like these, if they drip or something. But then you just slide, other way, you slide this in at the bottom rung, and then you're ready to go. You can hear it when it's air frying. There's definitely some air just pushing through there, which, you know, makes it cook better and faster. Not too loud, but it is something. One cool thing I like is when you open it up, it turns the fan off and it pauses the time. So if you need to shake it or something like that, you're not taking away from the time. With that single layer, I'm not really going to need to shake it, but this is a deep basket. So if you want to cook a lot of French fries, you could, and just shake it every so often. It is almost done. Just going to show you how nice it looks. It does a really good job of air frying stuff, and it gets both sides pretty good without having to flip it or anything. I'm not, for this one, not getting any steam. Depends how steamy your food is. Maybe there'll be some steam buildup on the door coming out the crack, but this one's doing a pretty good job of just exhausting it, I think, out the back. It just finished, so you can hear the sizzle, the food, and it smells great in here. Nicely browned on everything. These are crispy, and so are the chicken nuggets. Yeah, this does a great job of cooking. I just cut up a bunch of raw potatoes, and it's like 4 potatoes in it. Barely even fills the bottom of the basket. This thing is large, but gonna cook these up and show you how they look at the end. For these, I'm gonna cook them on air fry at, I'll say 380, and I'll do it for 10 minutes to start, and then probably toss them and do another 10 minutes or so. Yeah, this thing cooks so nicely. Just about done. You'll hear the noise. It's not too loud, so you can't hear it, but it's not crazy. I did have an air fryer that had just too loud the noise, and I turned the time down, so I did these about 16 minutes total, and they are perfect. Nice and crunchy on the outside and soft on the inside. So, love that. About to toast a couple slices of bread. You can see in here. So to get to toast, you go to mode, and then so you can go through all the different options, but I will put it on toast. And then you can put what shade you want from 1 to 7, 7 being the darkest. So I'll go for a little bit of a medium. And then you can press the time slices button, and you can go in between 1 and 6 slices. I have 2 slices. It does say it's pretty important to do it the right amount of slices. I'll close it up and start it going. So that'll have it at 4 minutes. Turn the light on so you can see a little bit, but I'll come back in a couple minutes. A couple minutes in, and you can see some of the steam forming on the door. That's why it's important to put the right number of slices, because steam comes out from a nice bread, and this is removing it. I do like that I don't have it coming out at the front of the door like another French door toaster that I had. But yeah, come back in a couple minutes. See how the steam has left the doors when it's done. I do have a tiny bit of steam escaping the doors here. Not too much, but that is something. Here's how the toast looks. I think because of the bread, it doesn't look super dark or anything. But one nice thing is it's very nicely toasted on both sides, and I did not have to flip it. So big fan of that. Just finished cooking a chicken pot pie on the bake setting, and it looks great. Yeah, this thing really is cooking everything I throw at it really well. If you are looking for a nice air fryer, I definitely recommend it.